You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions, with your hosts, Cindy and Grace. Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 32 of Nice-ish. I am here with my co-host, Grace. And before we get started, we just wanted to take a second to acknowledge what's going on in California. All the wildfires, all that's going on. We actually have family in California, so it's a bit scarier to know that they're out there. But we just want to say that we appreciate all the firefighters, the first responders, everybody that's helping. It's so hard to watch any of those videos and not, spill tears.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, we're hoping that maybe this next hour with us can kind of alleviate some of the anxiety or whatever. It's okay to laugh and smile even when you're going through something hard. So, we hope that this might help a little. So Grace and I are back with episode 32 after a 3-week hiatus.
Nobody knew about, apparently. I did not find out that you did not post that we were taking a break until like 2 days ago when I said, hey, so, you posted that, right? People know that we're going to be,
Yeah, does
off
anybody
for a while.
miss us?
Yeah.
Nope.
No, because nobody knew.
Yeah, I kind of forgot. We were super busy with work and with the holidays coming up and stuff. And you had said, we can't do it all. We can't get these in. And so why don't you post something and say that we're, going to take a break and we'll be back in 2 or 3 weeks. We weren't really sure. And I'm like, no problem. I'm on it. I gotcha. And then I just forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Completely forgot. That's how busy we were.
Yeah, I have learned from this that I can't trust you and that I have to look over everything.
I would not trust me either. I do not blame you, and I'm not offended.
Good. Wow, what a healthy conversation.
And then we both got sick.
Yeah.
It was like the 27th or something of December. I had just that evening gotten my COVID vax, and then we got sick the next day.
Yeah.
And so on top of my arm hurting like hell, we got, this virus or something. So it wasn't COVID. We both tested, but
I don't know. I think everything's COVID at this point. Honestly, if it doesn't even come up on the test, I'm like, that's probably what it is.
So we were just out of it. It's actually still kind of there. I'd say I'm at like 95% of getting rid of this. I still have like tiny lingering cough.
Yeah.
And my nose is still kind of leaking. I actually have a scab on my nose from blowing it so much. Super attractive. But we're back.
We're back. Yes, back in the new year.
Welcome, everyone. So in the 3 weeks that we've been off, a lot has happened in the Bravo sphere. Karen Huger of Real Housewives of Potomac was found guilty of DUI and multiple other charges. Those charges included DUI, failure to control a vehicle's speed on the highway to avoid a collision, driving a vehicle in excess of reasonable and prudent speed on the highway, driving a vehicle on the highway with a suspended registration, and failure to notify administration of change of address within 30 days. Karen is scheduled to be sentenced on January 29th. So on January 9th, Bravo posted the seating chart for the reunion, and there was a noticeable absence. Karen's photo wasn't pictured, and her manager released a statement saying that she wouldn't be attending the reunion taping. Quote, Karen made the important decision to enter a private recovery program, so was unable to attend the reunion taping today. She was fully supported in this choice. We stand behind Karen as she embarks on this meaningful journey and are proud of her for taking such a significant step forward in her personal growth. So what are your thoughts on Karen skipping the reunion?
It's hard because I will definitely say that I am disappointed that she will not be there. She was kind of the main focal point of the season this year, one of them. I mean,
Right.
It was like her and Mia. Those were the two biggest.
Right.
So her not being there, I think, will be noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have liked to have heard what she had to say.
Right.
However, after seeing all of the body cam footage that was released, I am definitely in support of her going to a recovery program. I think that that is needed. So if she had to skip the reunion to do that, I think good for her then. Do that.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of mixed reactions. And I think my initial reaction wasn't the kindest.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess where I'm at now is, however she got there, it's a good thing that she's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people think, well, this happened 9 months ago. Why didn't she go to rehab then? And her sentencing is on the 29th, and she's going to affect her sentence. That's why
Right.
she's there. Well, yeah, I'm sure her lawyer told her that. That might help.
I know.
And I can't blame someone for doing that. I will say that regardless of why she went, only good can come out of her being there.
Yeah.
And so I don't really care at this point how she got there. I'm just glad she's there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I hope that she is getting the help that she needs and that this is successful for her, because I don't like seeing anybody like this. We've had a couple of these on these shows, now. So I am hoping that this goes well for her and that this is what she needs.
Yeah, and we see some accountability. And maybe the first step of accountability is going. Like I said, whether she wanted to or not, she's there. And hope for the best. In other Bravo news, it was reported that Paige DeSorbo and Craig Conover from Summer House and Southern Charm broke up after 3 years together.
Yeah. I was disappointed to see this, actually.
Yeah, I was disappointed. Not overly surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Disappointed, not surprised, really at all. But
so Paige spoke out first about it and said on her podcast, Giggly Squad, quote, "No one did anything. It wasn't a bad thing. I think we both were just being really mature and saying what we want and what we didn't want. And I think that's extremely powerful to be able to voice how you're feeling in real time and what you want for your future." Paige shot down rumors of cheating and insisted the parting of ways was amicable. Quote, "I think he's one of the best people I've ever met in my entire life. I will remain the biggest fan of him and want the best for him, and he will truly get the best because he is the best." So that was Paige's statement.
yeah.
And then a little over a week later, Craig shared his side of the story and said, quote, "This has all been very, very unexpected, to say the least. I'm very shocked, and it's okay. It takes two people to be in a relationship. You can't control the other people. You can only control how you react. I'm still processing everything, which is normal. I mean, 3-year relationship. It's your best friend who you talk to all day, every day, and then they're just gone," he noted. "So one day I'll be able to talk more on it, but right now I just wanted to thank everyone for their kind messages." So yeah, it doesn't quite sound amicable.
Yeah, they don't quite match up. I think Paige thought it was like, oh, it's so great to be able to voice how you're feeling. And I'm sure she did that.
Not great to hear it,
not
though.
great.
I've been seeing a lot of comments kind of tearing her down, and I think it's probably mostly Craig fans.
Mm-hmm.
But her home base was New York City. That's where she's from. It's where she's grown up. It's where she has her podcast, her businesses, her whatever she does. That's where she wants to be. I think New York City, it takes a special person to live there. It's almost like you got to be born there or you just don't get it.
Right.
And Craig's in Charleston and he owns a restaurant and that's where he is. And I've been seeing a lot of comments saying that she just didn't love him enough to leave. And I thought, well, then he didn't love her enough to leave. Like, why is all the blame on her?
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
it was a good point. When you said that to me, I thought, oh, yeah, that's a good point.
And they're saying, like, she knew she didn't want to get married or she strung him along. And I thought, he's a grown man. And she doesn't strike me as the type of person that wouldn't share her opinion.
Yeah.
So I just think, yes, it's sad when one person leaves a relationship and the other doesn't want it to end.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible, but it happens every day, people.
Yeah.
So I don't think we necessarily need to blame anyone.
Yeah,
she wasn't ready for it.
Right. It doesn't really sound like we have to blame anybody either, considering there was no cheating of any kind. Then it's easy to point the finger.
Right. Exactly. Sandoval. You know, I like Craig. I think he's sweet. I think he will be married in 2 years. I think he will find somebody quickly and he'll have his happily ever after, or happily ever 10 years.
Oh my God. You're like Vicky, where you're like, call me in 5 years when you're divorced. He's not even married yet, but we're talking about when it's gonna end.
Let's get the odds.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I wish them both well. I don't think either one did anything wrong. If she wasn't ready for it, end it before you cheat.
Let's talk about this week's Beverly Hills.
Okay.
We had a lot of stuff happen in this episode. We had Garcelle talking about her son Oliver and their relationship. Mm-hmm. Super sad, but good.
Happy ending.
Yes. Erica redesigning her home. And Dorit talking with Bose about her therapy session with PK.
Whoa.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yeah, that was heavy duty.
But we are going to jump all the way to the last part of the episode with Erica hosting a release party at the Viper Room, which it's appropriately named for this episode.
Yes.
For her new single, Dominoes.
Right.
So there's two things that we'll talk about. We'll talk about Sutton and Dorit, and then Kyle and Dorit.
Sure.
First, we'll start with Sutton. I don't know what's up with Sutton this season because she seems very unaware of how she's coming across to the other women who really just aren't buying this call to sisterhood. I'm not really buying it either.
I would agree.
And Erica kind of states it pretty plainly. She went after me at my lowest, then Kyle, now Dorit. She says that the whole sisterhood thing is bullshit. Bose tends to agree as well, and Sutton seems to think that Dorit is poisoning Bose against her. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think anybody has to poison Bose against it. I think Sutton seems to be oblivious to how she's coming across.
Yeah, and I don't really get it, too, because Bose was honestly offended in the moment.
Yes.
And I would have been, too, even if it wasn't directed at me.
And spoke up in the moment.
In the moment. And said, so I don't know why she's like, it's Dorit's fault that she doesn't like me. No, it's your fault that she doesn't like you. So I'm not understanding that. And if you're wondering why Bose doesn't like you in the moment, or didn't like what you said, not even doesn't like you.
Right.
But you had the conversation with her.
Right.
Did you hear her at all?
No, she did not.
No.
She said she was defensive in the moment with Dorit, and I think she was defensive in that conversation with Bose.
Yeah.
Sutton can really take some low blows. I think everyone agreed. The only one not speaking up was Jennifer, and I think Jennifer's so close to her that maybe she didn't want to.
Yeah.
But I think if Jennifer took her side and privately talked to her about it, you know, Sutton, you're coming off horrible.
Reel it in. Like, God. I know, it's just weird. It does come off very much two-faced when you're saying how you can call me and I'll be there for you. And then you saying, well, I didn't say that I was the first person you should call.
I know,
like,
right?
Oh my God.
It was a lot. And she does come off a little mean.
That's the problem. It's not funny.
No.
It does come off, yes, a bit cruel and mean.
Yeah.
And it's not in a quirky, fun way.
And for someone who's been there, like she has said,
yeah.
you would think, okay, look, Dorit, we're not the closest, but I'm really sorry you're going through this. Not, well, I can see your bad mood is because your life is because your life's such a mess. Like, oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks, pal.
I know. So yeah, she's rubbing me the wrong way this season. Sutton is. It's a little annoying.
Same.
Then we go to Kyle and Dorit, who just can't seem to get on track right now with their friendship. They're not melding together here. Dorit is told that Kyle is corresponding with PK through text and asks Kyle about it here. Mm-hmm. And Kyle says it's memes only. Okay. And that Dorit knew they texted and that she had no idea things were as bad as they were with their marriage. I mean, that might be a fair statement to make since Dorit had just told Bose about her therapy session like a day or two ago prior, and her and Kyle aren't really talking right now. I mean, I guess you could say, though, you know that they're separated, so it can't be that great. Mm-hmm. But Kyle also said that she would expect people to reach out to Mauricio as well in this situation to see how he's doing.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here, but first, I do agree that Kyle wouldn't know the ins and outs of what's going on currently. Mm-hmm. Like when Dorit told Bose what PK said in therapy, this is why I want a divorce and this is why I don't want to be married to you. Or what did he say?
That is why I don't want to be married to this woman.
I was Bose in that moment. I'm like, whoa, are you serious? And he walked out, slammed the door. So there's no way Kyle or any of the women, honestly, would know it's that bad. Mm-hmm. Because I think up until that point, Dorit was kind of hoping for some sort of reconciliation. So that's not really fair to say you knew it was bad. Mm-hmm. However, don't be texting my ex.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's just memes. PK's an ass.
Well, right. And it's like, I get that it's been going on for a long time, but that I was around. Right. We were married, so it didn't matter because I was friends with you, and so you were friends with him. Right. That makes sense.
That's exactly the point. When circumstances change, you change your behavior.
Right.
So it's not that hard to figure out why she's upset, why Dorit's upset.
Yes.
I would be too. It's not cool. I don't care that nothing's going on. I don't expect anything to be going on.
Right, yeah.
But do me a solid and back me and stop texting my ex. Even if it's just a like. Even if you're just liking a stupid meme, then, stop it.
Give it a thumbs down and hit block and let's, keep it moving.
Yeah. And Kyle seems very pissed about it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that she's pissed about this situation in particular or if, again, this is something way bigger than what we're just seeing in front of us because they both have a lot of anger right now towards each other. And this doesn't just seem like I know they said it, like it's little things that build up, but it does really seem like that. I gotta be
honest, I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen a Twitter account that's Kyle's forehead vein. Because it was a poppin'.
It was.
But I don't know. She just didn't seem to get it. And every single woman there was like, I get it.
Yeah.
And Kyle didn't seem to. And she was defensive. And she knew it. She said, I lost my shit. I lost my cool. But I don't know. I think they're both wrong. Well, no, I don't think that. I think Dorit's right. I'm trying to think, what do I think Dorit's wrong in? Not really anything. She's sticking up for herself with Sutton and with Kyle.
Yeah, I know. I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I have not seen this type of fire in Dorit really ever. Now, I'm not sure if that's because she's just has such a short fuse right now, in general, that she's ready to go off, but it's about time.
I think all her points are valid.
So the episode ends on an explosive note with Kyle and Dorit. They're still fighting, but kind of like lunging at each other a little bit, getting pretty close. Yeah. And Erica's like, Dorit, let's go. Let's go outside. And
can I just say, Erica looked smoking hot. I thought her outfit was hot. Her hair looked great. She looks fantastic. She's never looked better.
Are we allowed to compliment Erica now? Because the one time you said that you liked her outfit.
No, I said I liked her hair.
Oh, her hair.
I was crucified on Twitter for that. Yes, for liking her hair. It was amid the whole Tom scandal. And I made the giant mistake of saying her hair looked nice. Oh, my God. I had to delete it. I got so much shit. I had to delete it.
I remember you telling me that. You're like, I had to delete the post about Erica's hair. I'm like, why?
I'm like, it's not worth it. It's literally not worth it. People are insane. Okay, let's talk about this week's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Oh, yes.
This show has delivered all season.
It's so great. It's been so good.
It's literally the best show on Bravo.
It is.
So next week's the finale already.
I am really sad about that.
I am too. I mean, I know we have the reunion, but every week it's going to be gone.
I know. I don't like it.
I don't like it. So the episode starts with Bronwyn going to Lisa and telling her all about this bitch session she had with Whitney, Angie, and Heather the night before. And honestly, I thought it was kind of shitty on Bronwyn's part.
Yeah, I don't know why she did that. I really don't. Like, you had Whitney and Angie, like, on your side, kind of riding for you. And this is the second time she's done it, too. Yeah. And it's just like, how are you not getting that this isn't what you're supposed... You got to pick somebody. You got to pick somebody that you will keep their secrets and that you can talk in confidence to. Because when you are the tattletale on everybody, then nobody wants to tell you anything.
I mean, if you wanted to tell Lisa what you said, then fine.
Right.
Go ahead and say, you know what? I was upset at what you said. I felt you backed Todd, not me. So I bitched about it to the women and they listened to me. Mm-hmm. But now I feel bad about it. So I'm coming to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fine. Yeah. Do that. But to rat out everybody else what they said was shitty.
I thought so too. Yeah, you got to tighten it up for next season.
Bronwyn really needs to learn how to be a housewife. Because it's not just a regular friendship that you have in everyday life.
Yeah.
It's much different. And she just doesn't know how to do it yet.
No, and the only person that I want her to tattletale on is Brittany. That's it. That I found funny. Everybody else, I'm like, Bronwyn, what are you doing? No, you can't do that.
Nobody even cared.
No, nobody even cared. God, I know. I found that funny. And this, I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
Don't. Like, now I'm mad at you.
Yeah, my feelings have changed. I'm not over her. I like her.
Yeah.
She just doesn't know yet.
Right.
She's got to turn it around.
Yeah.
So the women were going on an excursion to ride ATVs, and in the van, while they were all fighting, Angie notices that Brittany was recording them. And she makes Brittany play what she recorded on her phone, and everyone, including Heather, just went off on Brittany.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And Brittany's trying to explain why she was recording. And Lisa pointed out she changed her story like 4 different times. I think at one point she's like, my daughter did really well on her math test. So I'm not really understanding how that has to do with recording the women.
No, it doesn't. And literally the most unbelievable lie you could make up is that you were talking to your daughter. Everybody knows that you don't talk to your kid. So why would you throw that out?
Yeah, right away we know you're lying.
Yeah, no.
Pick something believable.
Yeah.
Well, she also mentioned that she was trying to get background video. And someone was really quick to point out she recorded the back of her seat. So what are you doing? What are you trying to get video of if you're just recording your seat and all you hear is the audio?
I know. You got to be a better spy, Brittany, here. If you are going to record somebody, you have all of these opportunities to do that. You're sitting on the van. You could put your phone out the window.
Right.
I'm showing my daughter, where we're going out the window or whatever.
Scenery.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could have made this so believable, or just gone to your voice memos on your phone. Why did you record it as a video, the audio? All you wanted was the audio. That's all you had to do.
I don't know if that's all she wanted. I mean, her story kept changing, and then later in her confessional, she said to the producer, well, I only recorded it for 1 second. And she's like, no, it was 24 seconds. She's like, I don't think so. Are you sure?
God.
And it's like, oh my God. They ripped into her, though. All of them.
Yes.
Even Heather was like, you can't do this. This is not cool. So I had tweeted out, I keep reading the argument that the women are filming a show and are overreacting at Brittany filming them. There's already cameras. I think the difference is they know they're being recorded by production. Is Brittany recording when they aren't filming? And we got a reply back from @_Arthur Becker_, who said, to me, it creates doubt that she's recording them when the cameras are down and they aren't mic'd anymore. And I think it's an unspoken rule on Bravo that you don't record each other when cameras are down. How do you feel about this? What do you think she was doing? Why was she recording them, and did they overreact?
Well, I think personally it was that she was talking to maybe it was Jared, I don't know, or just a girlfriend of hers. Mm-hmm. And they were asking her how it was going. And she's like, oh my God, I'm on this van and all they are doing is fighting. And then whoever she was talking to probably said, oh my God, let me hear.
Yeah.
Or, tell me about it.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would.
Well, I was going to say that's because what I would do if I was talking to you. Yeah, I just would have been better about it. But yes, that's what I would have done. I created the scenario of what I would do with you in my head. And you better do that for me too.
I will.
So I think that's probably what happened. Mm-hmm. Do I think they overreacted? I don't know. I mean, it's hard because I don't want to see anybody get just piled on.
Which she did.
However, it was a really, really stupid move.
It was a big fuck up.
It was big.
Yeah.
And after the season that they were coming off of with Monica and them not trusting her at all.
Right.
I think they were even a little bit more sensitive to that. So it wasn't great. So honestly, no, I don't think
No, I agree with you. I think, again, the point I had was when they're filming with production, they know the cameras are all over the place. So they're aware what they're saying can be used. Mm-hmm. But when you don't know someone's filming you, that's such an invasion of privacy.
Yeah. And trust on these shows is hard to find. You really have to put your trust into somebody. Like Mary telling Angie and only Angie about her son, that takes a lot of trust.
Yes.
That you're not going to say anything. And to have somebody like Brittany just decide that you're going to record a stupid fight over something dumb.
Do you think if Brittany had admitted she fucked up that they would have taken it better?
I don't know. I'd like to think yes, but I actually don't know if they would have, because I think they would have been pissed either way. So I think that it's always better to just say what happened or lie a little bit. Like what? Give a little, yes, I was recording a video. Say you were sending it to your daughter. Fine. She asked me how our trip was going. I was trying to,
I couldn't believe how crazy it was getting.
Yeah, and so she asked me, what's going on. And so that's what I was sending her, a small snippet of that. It was not meant to be a malicious thing. It was not meant to be used at a later date for something else.
But it was stupid.
So, yeah.
Because Mar lost her shit. She lost it.
This is the beginning of the end for
Oh
Mar.
my God. She just, you can leave. You're vile. I mean,
Had enough of you.
yeah.
Oh my God.
When the van stopped and Brittany got out, she just sobbed.
Yeah.
And Whitney went over and
I
was
know.
just like, there.
Well, I felt actually, you want to know what? If Brittany wasn't open and honest in the moment with all the other women, I think she should have been with Whitney right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other women might not have wanted to listen to her at all and wouldn't have really given a shit. I don't think Mar was ready to hear anything from Brittany.
No, Brittany could have gone back on the van and said, I have an announcement.
Oh my God.
I'd like to apologize.
That would have been so funny.
I know. Okay, so the women arrive at their destination and they're partnering up to go on the ATVs, and they thought they could go in like groups of 4 until the guy's like, 2 apiece. And Heather and Brittany were the only 2 that weren't on one yet.
Yeah.
So Heather's like, oh, great. I get to sit in silence with the most hated person on the trip.
Oh, God.
I go so up and down with Heather because I thought she was ridiculous with Bronwyn in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, really ridiculous
Yeah.
and unlikable.
Yes.
But then where she really shines is her confessionals.
Mm-hmm. And her humor.
She's so funny.
She's very funny. Yes.
Oh, before we move on, I gotta say, when they all sat down to eat and Brittany says to the group that she only lied about one thing, and that it was that, yes, she is having sex with Jared, and everybody just groaned like, bitch, we know.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm mad at myself. I am mad that I thought that she had something actually interesting to say and valid to say, because I don't know why I thought, of course it was going to be something stupid like that. All of her announcements have been dumb. Everything else has, but I really thought, like, because they cut the commercial break there, I really thought, oh, what is she going to say? She really had me going.
Really?
A little bit. Like, I just was like, oh my God, what could it be?
The women are like, he bought you crotchless panties. Like, yeah, you're having sex. We know.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Did you feel like a diversion tactic?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then her crying like, this is just gonna, ruin my life back home or whatever. I'm like, is it?
I know someone pointed out that you drink alcohol on a daily basis.
Right.
I think Angie's like, why are we talking about this? We all know. Why do we care?
I know. Her announcements are just so pointless.
Yeah, it was funny. It was so stupid.
It's so stupid.
But we move on to a scene with Mar and Heather. And Mar insinuates that it's possible that Brittany could have put a recording device in her room if she's claiming to have heard Mar the night before and was recording the women on the van today. So it's not so weird to think that maybe Brittany brought recording devices and decided to bug Mar's room.
It's incredibly weird to think. Here's the point in the episode where Meredith starts to become a bit unhinged.
That's the perfect word, unhinged. A little delulu.
Yeah, because I think Heather thought that she was joking slightly, or like kind of had a little bit of a banter back and forth. Like, oh my God, let's
I'll play
along. Check
it.
Yeah. And I really don't. I don't think Meredith thought it was a joke at all.
No, and Heather's like, this is how God shows me he loves me. He lets me go investigate rooms looking for recording devices. She was super funny.
Oh,
She's like,
God.
do you think she put a cup to your door? Like, everything she said was funny to me.
Yeah.
And Meredith's like, no, let's go look. Let's go check. And she's like, I'm on my way.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
So the episode kind of ends with all the women at dinner, and Mar confronts Brittany about the recording device allegation.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, all the women kind of look at Mar like she's insane. Like, all of them.
Whitney laughed.
Yeah, she laughed with Lisa. I mean, they're not even speaking to each other, and she kind of looked across the table like, oh my God, did she just say that? Because it's so crazy.
It's insane. It's insane. It truly is. I mean, I get being pissed at Brittany for doing the thing earlier in the van, and that's totally fine. But to go out on a limb, and you really did, that she put something in your room to record you. What did you think she was trying to record you for? What
Well, Mary
information?
said there's nothing to hear because she's not fun and boring. I love Mary. And then later, the very last scene, Meredith's yelling in the room, talking to Lisa, and they're all standing outside, and Mary's like, well, no wonder Brittany heard everything. She's screaming.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
Well, I finally get what Brittany's talking about. She probably wasn't throwing up. It was that she was coughing.
Probably.
That's what it was. I don't think that she was throwing up. But you probably were that loud then. I don't think that Brittany was going up,
I don't know. I don't know what to say because Meredith asked everybody else, and Heather's like, no, I can't hear you. I didn't hear anything. My room's a sanctuary.
Yeah.
She kind of asked everybody, and nobody did. But then I would not be surprised if Brittany was listening.
The cup against the wall or the door.
I wouldn't be surprised. Girl, the chick is weird.
Yeah, she is weird.
She's a lot. So we have next week's episode, which is the finale. I saw a sneak peek.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good.
Yeah, it does look good. I'm sad for it to be over, though. I don't want it to be.
I'm excited for the reunion. I am sad for it to be over, but this was award-winning this season.
It really was great.
We might have to just rewatch it.
I would rewatch it. That's totally fine. And I was so worried about this season, too, after last season that we had with Monica. I thought, how are they going to do it? I don't know. And it's been wonderful. Brittany is a gift from the reality TV gods that we needed.
I gotta say, I really like her on the show. I cannot stomach her on Instagram.
I know, which is really weird, because why am I like, oh my God, I need her back. And I can't, and I find her so irritating.
Because she's posting all these videos of her like singing in public in the airport. One thing that really kind of pissed me off was she got on the luggage thing and was like sitting on it where the luggage moves. And I'm like, bitch, get off. If I was standing there, I would have hauled your ass off. Don't get on there. Don't break it. Don't make me late because I can't get my luggage because your ass is sitting on it. I would have lost my shit if I was standing there. I would have been Mar and I would have hauled her ass off that.
Wouldn't it have been funny if she was on it, like recording, like if she was live and then somebody went to grab their suitcase and it just like and hit her?
I know. Everybody was looking at her like she's a weirdo. She clearly likes attention. So she is the perfect housewife, but out in the wild, she's annoying as fuck. So she's kind of an enigma.
I know, yeah.
With no cash.
With no cash.
Let's talk about this week's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Gotta be honest, it dragged for me.
Yeah, it was definitely a filler episode, and it wasn't a filler episode in a good way. It was like we're trying to put some scenes together that they thought were interesting, so it wasn't
none
that
of them
great.
were necessary, to be honest.
That's kind of my thing, is that it wasn't, like, if we pulled this episode out of the season, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't affect anything.
Yes, exactly. So we can touch on a couple things. I mean, the episode opened with all the women at breakfast, and Wendy got some sort of alert on her phone or something that Kiana was being countersued by Debra. And we all remember Debra. I mean, Candace referred to her as Cookie Monster, Sesame Street, all those nicknames. But she actually hit Kiana in the head with a glass. So Kiana was suing her, and it looks like Debra is countersuing.
I don't even know how they thought that there was a countersue, like, case. Like, I can't believe that a lawyer was like, yeah, let's go ahead with this.
I know. I mean, maybe they thought she would drop her lawsuit if Debra sued her.
For $7 million, too? Like, What a joke.
I know. The whole thing is stupid. I mean, Kiana has a real physical injury.
Yes.
She was physically assaulted, so I'm not sure how you can compare the two. Debra said she was the real victim, but, we are all the victims of having to watch Debra for 2 years.
God. What did you think, though, of Ashley's reaction?
I thought it was interesting. I don't know if Ashley would feel that way if Kiana weren't a housewife and she had to get along with her. But I don't know. See, I fall for it all the time. Ashley comes off as sincere to me.
I know.
And then I read social media and everybody's like, she's, faking it and she's this and that. So I don't know. I bought it.
I know. I bought it too. That's why I was asking, like, can I say that I thought Ashley was sincere, or were you going to tell me that no, she wasn't? But no, I thought Ashley came off, whether or not it was sincere or not, she came off very interested and caring.
Even when they weren't talking to her, you could see the camera on her and she looked embarrassed. She actually said she was embarrassed by the whole thing.
Yeah.
I thought her reactions came off that way.
I thought they did too. And I also thought that when everybody got up from the table and she just talked to Giselle personally too, that would say a lot as well. The fact that she was like, I'm embarrassed and I don't even know what to say. The fact that I'm hearing that she's embarrassed, like, you have nothing to be embarrassed about. I am the one who is.
Right.
So I don't know. It came off genuine to me, but what do we know?
We know nothing.
Exactly.
Then Mia took the opportunity to apologize to Giselle again for making some kind of nasty comments about her daughters. You asked if I thought Ashley was genuine. Do you think Mia's genuine?
No, I don't. I think that she does this thing where it's like, well, you guys said this about me. So then it's like, I should be able to say stuff about you. And it's like, it doesn't really work that way. And also, you kind of just keep saying the same thing over and over again. Like, she keeps just saying that your girls had boys in the house or whatever, or they snuck them in. It's like, is that the worst that you have? Like, is that because I don't get what you're trying to prove here with that,
Yeah, I don't know either. It's just, you start attacking someone's kid and they're going to come at you hard. Yeah. And it's not something I would think is a forgivable offense.
Yeah.
So then the women all went on a catamaran, and I gotta say, I don't really care if Mia and Jacqueline have a past. I'm just kind of tired of hearing about it.
God, I know.
It's just old news.
Right. And it's like, you've been with her. He's been with you. You've been with it.
You've watched each other.
Okay, great.
It's just, it's kind of one of those, none of my business, and I don't care.
Well,
and
it's like all these women are like older now too, except for Ashley, really. But it's just like, nobody's in that part of their life.
Is that why Ashley was interested?
Maybe. But nobody's there. Nobody, or they're in relationships. But it's like nobody is in that spot to talk about that. It just wasn't. Nobody cares.
Just boring.
Yeah.
There's not too much else to talk about.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. It was such a slow episode. So the only thing I thought was interesting was at the very end where Karen came in because she had overslept or something, and Wendy was telling her what she missed, and she mentioned that Pastor Holy Whore, Jamal Bryant, was getting remarried. I mean, who is this woman?
I know. And why are you doing that? Why are you getting married again? You literally cannot stay faithful to anyone. What's the point? Just don't.
Right. Just play around then.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a pastor. I mean, you're supposed to have some sort of integrity, but I don't know. This whole episode was just to me.
Yeah, there wasn't much here, so that's why this conversation is going to be kind of short.
Yes, there wasn't much to discuss, but we didn't want to just completely skip over it because it's our first episode back from our hiatus.
I know. And it's like, I feel like all we talk about is Mia too, because that's what's going on this season, is just her really. But I will just say to end it though, that I love Stacey and I am feeling her this season, and I love her confessionals.
Yes, I would agree. I think there's too much Mia.
Yes.
And I think that's part of the reason why it's boring. The other part of the reason why it's boring is that literally nothing is going on with anyone else.
Yeah.
Other than Stacy.
Right.
So if we need to have a Stacy spinoff, then if she dumps TJ and, Stacy's the one who should have gone on the dating show.
Oh, I know, right?
She would have been perfect.
She would have. And she's so sweet. Everybody would have liked her, too.
I know. Luann would have hated her. Because everybody would have been interested in her. So we did see the sneak peek for next week's episode. And I'm trying to remember what was in it. I do know there was a clip of Ray talking to Gordon about taking the kids to wherever and not letting Mia know. There seemed to be something going on with the paternity test. Karen implied that maybe all this time Mia has known the paternity of her kids and she's just kind of jerking everybody's chain.
Which I would believe, to be honest, but...
Which is appalling.
It is, but she just seems like that type. Like, I keep saying she's all over the place. It's because I think she is. She says one thing and then does something else, and she always has these little lies. This isn't a little lie,
right?
But she always does that, and then you catch her on it, and you're like, "What are you talking about? Your story changes constantly."
I really hope that's not the case because they kind of pieced it together.
Yeah.
So it's possible that it's not, but
right.
That's what they want us to think.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a clip of Stacy with TJ,
mm-hmm.
and he said something to her about, "You seem like you're embarrassed of me and you're hiding me." And she's like, "Well, I'm not divorced yet." But this is my thing. You're dating him.
I know.
How are you going to use the excuse, "I'm not divorced yet," when you're going out on dates with him?
I know. I mean...
So that's kind of it. It was a boring episode. It's a boring podcast here because we have nothing interesting to say about it. And usually we are laughing so hard at Potomac.
Yeah, there weren't really any laugh out loud moments because we do like to laugh at this show all the time. But there wasn't really any of that this episode. And it was kind of waiting for it to be over a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree. So hopefully next week's better. But because I've actually liked the season somewhat, you know?
Uh-huh.
I have enjoyed it. It's made me laugh, but this was a weak one.
Yeah, normally the trips are the most interesting parts of the season.
Yeah. Nope, not this week.
Thanks for listening to episode 32 of Nice-ish. You can follow us on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, or Twitter at Nice-ish Podcast or at LoveCindyC. You can listen to Nice-ish wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Monday. Thank you for listening and have a nice-ish day.